Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept the humble obeisances. All glories to Bhagavad Krishna Prabhupada. All glories to our revered speaker for today, His Grace Pancha GAUDA Prabhu. Prabhu, we thank you so much for always honoring our invitation and sharing your love and wisdom with us all. Today is Monday, the 27th of October. It's a new beginning of a new week, and it is the last Monday of the month of October. And Prabhuji, we're honored to have your association, as we said. Without further ado, we may put the verse on the screen and you may start speaking. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Narang Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswatam Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Nasta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 13, verse number 45. Savai bhata brashta matistavai shate ya karmanang param apara karmanaha yad yoga maya guna yoga mohitang vishwang samastang bhagavan vidhehi sham. So, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Lord, there's no limit to your wonderful activities. Anyone who desires to know the limit of your activities is certainly nonsensical. Everyone in this world is conditioned by the powerful mystic potencies. Please bestow your causeless mercy upon these conditioned souls. Mental speculators who want to understand the limit of the unlimited are certainly nonsensical. Every one of them is captivated by the external potencies of the Lord. The best thing for them is to surrender unto Him, knowing Him to be inconceivable, for thus they can receive His causeless mercy. This prayer was offered by the inhabitants of the higher planetary systems, namely the Jana, Tapas, and Satya Lokas, who are far more intelligent and powerful than humans. Vishvam Samastam is very significant here. There are the material world and the spiritual world. The sages pray, both worlds are bewildered by your different energies. Those who are in the spiritual world are absorbed in your loving service, forgetting themselves and you also. And those in the material world are absorbed in material sense gratification, and therefore also forget you. No one can know you because you are unlimited. It is best not to try to know you by unnecessary mental speculation. Rather, kindly bless us so that we can worship you with causeless devotional service. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistang Stapitang Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. O Lord, there's no limit to your wonderful activities. Anyone who desires to know the limit of your activity is certainly nonsensical. Everyone in this world is conditioned by the powerful mystic upon these conditioned souls. So thank you again for inviting me. Even though we're having a very busy Kartik, we had a wonderful celebration honoring Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day. And we had a beautiful Shobha Yatra that took Srila Prabhupada in palanquin with a couple thousand devotees chanting and dancing through the streets of Vrindavan. That was a 3-hour hike, more than my body can take, but we did it somehow or other. But it's these are the wonderful activities. The Lord has unlimited, wonderful spiritual activities that are going on constantly in the spiritual world. And the Lord comes to this material world to exhibit a little taste, a little preview of the spiritual activities that go on in the spiritual world. He's so kind that he brings his Balaram, Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, the cowherd boys, the gopis, and even Sri Vrindavan Dham and Jamuna River. He comes to show us the wonderful activities that are being carried out in the spiritual world. But one who's a materialist, even Narottam Das Thakur sings, when will I see Vrindavan? When one becomes free of the desire for material sense gratification. Because anyone who desires to know the limits of the Lord's activities, on his own, we cannot mentally speculate. We cannot, follow the dictation of so-called professors or persons in political power who want to give their interpretations of what is the purpose and goal of life by commenting on books like Bhagavad Gita. But and sober, he can see, because the only way to actually understand the truth is by hearing it from God himself. And this is the whole idea. Everyone in this world is conditioned. I was just reading the story of King Chitraketu, because prior to that, Vritrasura, who was considered a big demon, but actually was very God conscious. And Pariksit Maharaj was asking, how is it such a great demon caused so much disturbance to so many people? How is it he was a great devotee? And the story of King Chitraketu is being narrated in Srimad Bhagavatam. And this kind of portrays what everybody's thinking about life in general. Very beautiful bodily features. He had a very wealthy kingdom, had thousands and thousands of wives, but they were all barren. He so much wanted to have a son in order to fulfill the proper dharma so that the son could perform yajna to relieve the relatives. They have in tradition, the son, he performs sacrifice free the conditioned relatives who have not achieved higher forms of life. So Angira Rishi, wandering throughout the universe, came before Chitraketu. Now he could have given him direct knowledge and understanding of the wonderful Supreme Lord and the activities of the spiritual world and how one is conditioned, material life, eternal body, to our position, our identification with our religion and culture, that the family members were upset and objecting to them going to be with Krishna. So Krishna consciousness is something very rare. Out of all living entities in this world, a small number are human. Mahavishnu, who's Lord Balaram, expands himself as Sankarshan, and then again another quadruple expansion of the Lord. And then Mahavishnu, lying in the causal ocean, breathing unlimited universes. And each universe is filled with unlimited living entities. As many atoms as there's that many living entities. And of all the living entities, from aquatics to plant to demigods, human life is very rare. And amongst the humans, for those who are dharma, artha, kama, moksha, that human life means to follow religious principles, perform sacrifice, do your duty, take care of your responsibilities, and you can elevate yourself. But those who recognize that this is all temporary, that I did not exist. I existed before this body. Who I was or where I was, I don't know. I'm here now. These are my so-called mother and father. These are my friends and relatives, and this is my bank account. But all that's just a temporary, like in a dream. You go and you're dreaming at night, and you're very much part of the dream. But before you took rest, the dream didn't bother you, and after you wake up, you just forget about the dream. So this life, 10, 50, 100 years, it's finished, it's gone. So those who are a little bit inquisitive, introspective, dharma, artha, the reason why people perform religious sacrifices or worship gods and make yajna performances is for wealth, prosperity, good health, power. Many things are desired. Akama, sarva kama, vamoksha kama, udadadi, tivena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Most people approach God because they need and want something, and they want to please the Lord, so the Lord facilitates their desires. The whole material world was created because the living entity wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna. Somehow we're all servants, whether you're the president, you're serving your country, you're serving your family, you're serving your boss, you're serving your dog. Everyone is serving. We're serving the needs of our body and senses and mind. The mind is so restless. We're all building this beautiful castle on the shore of the sand, a sand castle on the shore of the ocean. And the wave comes in and destroys everything. So all the living entities in this world, they want to become more introspective and tato brahma jignasa. Human life means to inquire, who am I? Why am I forced to suffer the threefold miseries? Adhyatmika, adhidaivika, adhibodhika. The mind and body is troubling me, adhyatmika. Adhidaivika, we see and we hear about the earthquakes, hurricanes, volcanic eruptions, and tornadoes, and rain, floods. So much torment by Mother Nature can easily wipe out the demons a little slap. But Krishna doesn't come just for that. Krishna comes to this world like a father who's caring for his children, comes out of compassion and love, wanting to bring us back home back to the spiritual kingdom. We don't belong in this material world. It's a temporary place. Doesn't mean we become so callous that we become ignorant and not treat a devotee. He's loving everyone. He's loving the birds, the animals, the trees, the plants. It's not that we become callous in that capacity, but we're not attached, identifying, thinking this is mine and these are ours. Everything belongs to Krishna. Everything's meant for Krishna's pleasure. But Maya, this illusory potency, keeps us Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya Mamevaye Prapajante Mayame Pantarantite. This divine energy of mine, of Krishna's, is very difficult to overcome. But one who surrenders to Krishna can easily cross beyond it. But the surrendering process is not easy. Srila Prabhupada was speaking to the devotees that, we're going out, like we have a team that goes to the universities and does some programs. And many places we preach and we endeavor to spread the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is his order. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted everyone, especially those Bharata Bhumi to Hoila Manusha Janma Jar Janma Sarthaka Kori Kara Paru, those born in the Vedic tradition and who have the good fortune of being given. He orders that we give this message to others who are suffering. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu set the example. Lord Nityananda set the example. Advaita Acharya set the example by, out of compassion and love, wanting to spread this message of Krishna consciousness. Why? They don't want to see the living entities suffering. People are suffering tremendously, but they're covered over by Maya, by the three gunas. Prakriti guna, this Prakriti is material nature, is conditioning and keeping everyone in darkness. And in the prison house, Durga, she's keeping us very well, securely locked here. And in the prison house, they don't want to talk about the freedom. They have no idea because they're just prisoners. So when we hear of the wonderful superhuman activities of Krishna, then people, unfortunately, who are atheistic and narrow-minded want to say that's just mythology. That's just your belief. And that's because of the desire to remain independent, to try to continually enjoy. And that independence is given us multiple bodies in multiple planets and unlimited universes. Since time immemorial, we become nitya buddha. We become conditioned, and we're thinking that this is my everyday life is most important. I can take up me. He's 36, younger one. And I was telling him, every day you must listen. You must hear 15 minutes, half an hour every day, hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Because what is Srimad Bhagavatam? It's the glorification of the Supreme Lord's activities and the activities of the devotees. And when devotees discuss among themselves with genuine curiosity and concern, then becomes more and more relishable. But to hear in the association of devotees, although maybe we're physically not in the same proximity, but at least by technology, we're using technology in the service of Krishna. We're using our computer dictaphone to translate Srimad Bhagavatam, makes it transcendental. So we're not foolish is to reject, no, somebody's offering $1 million. No, I'm renounced. Somebody's offering you, a place where you can have beautiful worship of Radha Krishna, Krishna Balaram, Gaurnitai, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. So we very open-heartedly, open-armed accept everything because everything belongs to Krishna. Bhoktarang Jagatapasang Sarva Lokameshwaram. Krishna is the owner of everything. Scientists may make so many scientific spaceships and huge buildings and very complex machinery, but all the ingredients are given by Krishna. Huh? They may use the brain, but that brain power is given by Krishna, isn't it? That he's giving knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. He has us enwrapped on a machine made of material energy, and we're pursuing all our desires to try to become happy in this world. But there's no happiness, like there's no water in the desert. There's no happiness in this material world. It's only a real reflection, some temporary reflection, because there's happiness in the spiritual world. There are relationships. We have love. We, Krishna loves Mother Yashoda. This is the month of Damodar. So there's great loving exchange between Mother Yashoda and Lord Krishna. And everything exists in the spiritual realm. It's not like the spiritual world, just a bright light. And there's all the activities are taking place, but due to our teeny or tiny brain, we cannot adjust how great Krishna is and how wonderful it is to be awakened to our eternal spiritual life instead of the misery and the melancholy and moroseness of living in this material world, feeling trapped and feeling hopeless due to unlimited mental and physical desires, which are rolling in like the waves of the ocean. Very difficult to control the mind, very difficult to control the senses. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, the merciful incarnations, have shown us how to perform yajna, because in every age, yajna is performed. Sacrifice must be there. Just like one sacrifices his time and his energy to get a good college education, so his future is bright and he has stability and financial facilities to take care of his necessities and responsibilities in life. So our responsibility and the only purpose of human life is to serve and awaken our love for Krishna. We've forgotten Krishna, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us Chaito Darpana Marjanam, clean the heart. And what is the process? What is the yajna for this age? Some sacrifice? Yes, we do some ritualistic sacrifices, but Krishna Varanam Trisha Krishnam Sangopan Gastra Parashadam Jagnai Sankirtan Praya Yajanti Hi Samedasaha. So the Sankirtan, the congregational chanting of the holy name, is the yajna, the sacrifice, which will cleanse the heart, cleanse the mind, and also benefit all living entities. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was questioning Haridas Thakur, how will all the living entities be saved? By this chanting, the loud chanting of the holy name. Because Krishna is absolute. He's non-different than his name. And we may not have a taste. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's complaining that I have no taste for the holy name, but you have unlimited potency in all your names, Krishna, Govinda. And we just also finished a Jamil story too. Amazing. The discussion between the Yamadutas and the Vishnudutas, how a person, Jamila, who in his had all good qualities, studying scripture, performing sacrifice, and due to seeing a Sudra and Sudrani embracing and engaging in illicit activities, sexual activities, then it awakened his desires, which are lying also dormant within. Because the gift of Lord Brahma, everyone from Lord Brahma down to the ant, everyone has lust, anger, greed. Even Lord Brahma, the first living creatures were just there's all varieties. There's angels, there's gods, there's ghosts, there's demons, and human life is like you're midway. You can go up or down according to your desires, according karma daiva nitrena. So Krishna's not forcing; he's facilitating. So Jamil, he completely became bewildered and overcome by desire, almost as by force. Arjuna was saying that how is it that this lust and greed it forcibly takes over the mind and senses and forces me to act in such a way? So Krishna, like when one has a disease, he goes to the doctor. So we have to go to the guru, not as a custom. Oh, everyone has a guru. I should have a guru too. This is my guru. It's not like just some club or armchair recreational uh, activity that's going to make us. We should be desirous to learn the truth and approach the spiritual master, inquire submissively, render service, because without the service, lip service is amazing. Everyone can give it. But to be ready to render service and help in the preaching mission of our spiritual master. When someone wants to serve, when Gargamuni was asking Prabhupada, how can I serve you? What does it mean to serve? Service means that the spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, was carrying out the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the six Goswamis and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, who is the empowered Shaktivesh avatar, uh, carrying the message of the Guru Parampara and instructing Srila Prabhupada to take this message of Srimad Bhagavatam, take the message of awakening. And Prabhupada frankly admitted, I didn't want to take sannyas, and I was forced by my Guru Maharaj. He tried in so many ways to be successful, apparently, showing the example that one can be born in a good family. He can have an opportunity to be very successful in life, very wealthy, very powerful. But somehow, when Krishna loves you, he takes it away, and then people don't care for you so much. You're no longer a provider, a maintainer. You're no longer the big person who can provide them all their necessities. And somehow we're forced to surrender to Krishna. It may seem harsh, but unless one is matured, he can't accept the message of Godhead. So Srila Prabhupada arriving in America, he signed that you make me dance, I'm your puppet. If you can give me the words that will convince the conditioned souls to take up this process of bhakti, it's only by your power. I'm just an insignificant uh, beggar, and always keeping humble, but also powerful, like a lion, a lamb at home, but like a lion when glorifying Krishna or protecting the devotees and giving. He had great care. Prabhupada had so much love and care for his devotees. Even when brought back to England, he says, in India they would give me so much trouble, but all of you have helped me so much in my uh, attempt to serve my spiritual master and spread Krishna consciousness. He's thanking the devotees, saying, my Guru Maharaj has sent all of you to help me. And Prabhupada said, I know it's difficult. People may not accept, but let us try. Let us try. So we have to make like on Sankirtan, if you're a Sankirtan or a person who goes out and makes the endeavor to give these books, we just try to serve Krishna. But at the same time, we use our intelligence. You want to hear from those who are expert in book distribution. I remember in Miami, in Florida, it was like 676, 77. We were distributing in the airport, but we were mainly just doing small books and Back to Godhead magazines. But we wanted to do big books. So Dharma Prana and his wife came. They were big book distributors. So I said, give a Sankirtan class. I recorded the whole class. And then I studied the technique over and over again, hearing it and practicing it. And went to book distribution, and somehow the mantras worked. And then everybody took up the big book distribution. and all of a sudden everyone was so enlivened. But it comes. Krishna gives us intelligence that we should see how the devotees, those who are enthusiastic, that they're regulated, they're coming to the programs, they're studying Bhagavatam, they're hearing it daily, they're actually taking carefully to follow the orders of the spiritual master. I know it's to dedicate oneself to the process of self-realization, but if we really genuinely understand what a golden opportunity we have in the human form of life to just dedicate our time, and it becomes so much more happy. Who gets up early in the morning and hears Bhagavatam or chants the holy name of the Lord and prepare and marking the body with tilak, with protection, like the Narayan Kavacha. We have the Krishna Balaram Kavacha, just marking the body as the temple of the Lord and going see the deities, the beautiful deities, and all singing and dancing at 4:30 in the morning. People think, oh, these are crazy people. No, no. Those who is crazy? It's those who think that this temporary life is going to bring them happiness. There's no happiness there. It's all struggle. It's misery. Many miseries are there in the material world, unlimited miseries. And we can see with United Nations and all the world, if you look at practically every country in the world, there's so much conflict, so much unrest and unhappiness. That's because Krishna's not in the center. There's no possibility of happiness because this temporary machine, it gets old and worn out, and then all of a sudden you need Medicare and Medicaid, you need glasses, you need hearing aids, you need knee braces, knee replacements, hip replacements, heart replacements. We're made of material energy, this body, but it's melting back to the ground. And so while we have this vehicle, we need to have our destination clearly in mind. Just like Chitraketu, he wanted a son. So he he was given a benediction by the saint, the Harsha Shoka, that he'll give you happiness, but he'll also give you great distress. But he didn't care. Well, yeah, maybe he'll be naughty, he won't listen, but I want to have a son. But then all the other wives became very jealous and envious of the main queen who gave birth. So they poisoned Chitraketu's son, and when they saw the dead child, they went completely out of their minds because this was their whole life, the whole palace. Everyone was crying. So Angira Rishi and Narada Muni came again, and Narada Muni brought the child back to life. This is your mother and father, and why you have left abruptly. You can continue fathers in so many species of life. Which mothers and fathers are these? I had no connection with these people previously, and and after I leave this body, I will not have connection again. And the child spoke very philosophically. I'm making a long story short, but it's a beautiful pastime, Chitraketu, and how he was blessed. And Angira said, I could have given you this Brahma gyan, this knowledge, right from but I could see that your mind was too much disturbed by material desires. And that's what it is. We are distracted. We're distracted with hopes and dreams of becoming happy with family, with friends, with love, with nation. These are not going to, real friendship comes on an eternal spiritual platform. But it's just changing the mentality. There's Mahamaya and there's Yogamaya. And Yogamaya keeps the inhabitants of Vrindavan. They don't look at Krishna like he's the supreme God. They just love Krishna. And they have whatever relationship, whether as a friend, as a servant, as mother and father, as a lover. All these relationships are very satisfying and very beautiful. And all this description is there. It's not just someone's imagination. So many great personalities received the darshan of the Supreme Lord, the four Kumaras, Daksha, so many, Kardama Muni, and here Chitraketu was blessed with a mantra by Narada Muni, and he had the personal darshan of the Supreme Lord. But we don't, it's not that we have to think of all the details. And sometimes in the Bhagavatams, some of the stories are beyond our wild imagination. Like it said, Chitraketu had millions of wives, and they were all barren. And in our mind, we told the Brahmana that Krishna was putting an elephant through the eye of a needle. The Brahmana said, "Oh, Narada, you're just joking. It's not possible." But when he told the same to a simple devotee cobbler, that the Lord was putting an elephant through the eye of a needle, and the cobbler's, "Oh, my Lord is so wonderful." And Narada said, "How you believe such thing?" He said, "Well, when you make the banyan tree and the fruits are coming, and each fruit has unlimited seeds, which produces unlimited banyan trees." And he gave is how his creation springs from a spark of his splendor. And he parasya shaktir vividhaiva shruyate, not that Krishna has to manufacture, and he just wishes, just by his powers, he can create unlimited universes, make them float in space, and create the radiant sun and energy, and produce varieties. Just even the 8,400,000 species. If you ever watch the Discovery Channel, you can see in the sea, the beasts on the ground, and the colors of flowers and fruits, and how creative Krishna is. The skin and the seeds and human beings that can come together and produce the bodies for other human beings. But we don't produce the soul. The spirit souls are ever existing. They're undying. We've existed in the past. We're existing now. We continue to exist in the future. So our duty is to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, because the sages were very concerned. Now Krishna has wrapped up his pastimes. Who will give us the light and guidance in this age of Kali Yuga? So Amala Purana, of all the Vedic literatures, Puranas, Itihasas, and Upanishads, and Vedanta Sutra, the essence, the author himself gave us Srimad Bhagavatam. Of course, Bhagavad Gita is also spoken by Krishna. And by hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and regularly Shrinvata Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Ranti Stohya Bhadrani Vidhunoti Suhresutam, that practically all that is the contamination in the heart is cleansed. A lot of contamination is there. A lot of many lifetimes of desires and different bodies and different times and different places. But to be born in Kali Yuga, during the time when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission is actively being preached and being delivered by the most exalted Shaktivesh avatar, Srila Prabhupada, who is empowered by the Lord to make his words for our understanding. There may be many literatures, many Goswamis, many great Mahatmas. And if we think, well, let me, shop around, I'm sure there's a lot of good stuff in the libraries and the books here, there, and everywhere. But in my personal opinion, is that Srila Prabhupada was empowered in such a way as to take from the acharyas and also perform the austerity of every night getting up at midnight and for hours and hours reciting through the potency of Krishna, Krishna speaking through the pure devotee, and compiling this Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion, Bhagavad Gita, in such a way. These purports are his devotional ecstasies. And he says, when people say, why are you reading your books? These are not my books. Krishna's dictating. So Krishna empowering Srila Prabhupada to write in time, place, and circumstance which is suitable for us to execute this yagya, this Sankirtan yagya. Prabhupada, we have the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We have various spiritual oases in the forms of temples and deity worship, by serving the deity, dressing the deity, cooking for the deity, by cleansing the temple, by chanting and dancing, by preaching and book distribution, by festivals. Oh, we have unlimited festivals in Vrindavan. Every day is a festival. It's just unending festivals. And we should desire that, to be in the association of devotees, to hear the message of Bhagavatam, live in a holy place. The temple is a holy place, but of course, Sri Vrindavan Dham, Mayapur Dham, there's many holy dhams, and they become a holy dham by the Lord's appearance and activities, and sanctify those places. We're in New Ramanreti, lotus footprints of Krishna Balaram and Srimati Radharani. The gopis and gopas are all over the place here. And beyond the unlimited pilgrims who are coming, and sometimes unlimited commotion, beyond all that is a spiritual vibration. And we have to just tune in. Sometimes on the radio, you have to find the right frequency to get the clarity of the sound and the message. So we're trying to clarify our own hearts and our own minds so we can actually absorb the message of Bhagavatam and genuinely want to join the kirtan and encourage the devotees. Krishna's always happy. Krishna's always blissful. He's Satchidananda Vigraha. We're also Satchidananda Vigraha. But when we're covered over with desires, with lust, greed, envy, jealousy, these things make us morose and make us unhappy. But we can awaken the 26 qualities of pure devotee. And that comes by being compassionate for others and wanting to help others also become Krishna conscious. Not that we're just proselytizing or just fanatically trying to shove religion in people's throats. This is based on logic, scientific, very systematic and historical. This is very authentic, very bona fide. And it's proven so. Big judge in New York during one case when they were blaming us for brainwashing and for kidnapping and abusing and misleading the youth, that after the judge read the book, said this is a bona fide religion. This is the oldest teaching, the most historic Sanskrit. And not that we become erudite Sanskrit scholars. We don't. That's not necessary. We're fortunate that Srila Prabhupada has given it in our language, and so many languages is being translated. The message of Godhead. Yeah. But just like on a royal road, there's always danger. If one is shaving, I don't know. Nowadays, most people don't shave that often. But anyway, in shaving, if you're not paying attention and you're being a little careless, you can easily cut yourself and blood comes out. So even though Srila Prabhupada had many stalwart leaders in the beginning, many sannyasis, but at a young age is very dangerous. It's not recommended sannyas. But Prabhupada, in order to spread this mission, gave the sannyas order and pushed and encouraged the devotees to go out and preach. And of course, we have many casualties in a battlefield, in a war field. There's always some casualties, but we're always there to support and help one another and give each other encouragement. But everyone flies their own airplane. We should not think that, oh, My family will protect me. My government will help me. My doctor will help me. My bank balance will help me. Nothing will help you. Only Krishna can help you. And Krishna, as Chaitya Guru in the heart, is giving you good sense. And that good sense for all who are listening, not that I have anything special, but somehow just by trying to glorify Krishna and glorify the process of bhakti, the Sankirtan mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the glories of Prabhupada's accomplishments, that he tried and he did it. He planted the seed of bhakti in the heart of so many all over the world that thousands, millions, many millions of books have been distributed. They're waiting to be utilized because Kali Yuga is progressing very quickly. It's just surprising how quickly it's progressing. I remember even moving to Vrindavan in 1993 with my family. We had no cell phones. Even our landlines were always broken by the monkeys. And basically, it was, bicycle rickshaws and Govardhan, Vrindavan, and Parikram. In just a matter of a few years now, in family life, around the table, everyone just on the phone or looking at the Facebook, and the kids are playing with all those computer games, and now you can activate bombs with all these electronic technologies. But this technology and industrialization, only a few hundred years prior to that, everyone was living on the land with the cows and the bulls and growing their food and just living a simple lifestyle in cottage industries and trade, and there was so much opulence. Whenever there's Dharma, Bhagavad Dharma, when Varnashram Dharma is being followed, Mother Earth produces so many valuable necessities. But when the leaders and the public are sinful and they're not abiding by the laws, they're maintaining slaughterhouses, slaughtering the babies in the womb, and basically warmongers trying to kill one another and for greed and lust, then Mother Earth restricts. And also there's more floods and hurricanes and scarcities. And so people are struggling even more. But the only guiding light is the Bhagavat. Come out of the nations, come out of the darkness, come to the light. So utilize the short life we have and be with full gratitude that you have an opportunity to hear about Krishna and Krishna consciousness. And there are such things as Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should utilize that. Don't let it just sit on the shelf. And I think that this is the best way to really recognize and awaken our love for Krishna is by repeated hearing and chanting. It may seem, well, okay, well, we've heard that before. So do it. Let us do it. Let us take responsibility. Just like if you want to be a good father or parent or mother or a good employee, you want to satisfy, your boss and be dutiful. Don't cut corners or cheat, and people will recognize you. Oh, he's a good person, good worker. He can maintain family nicely. He's respected in society. So in the same way, when we take initiation and we're uh, following a process, we should follow the process. And then as we take our medicine of the Harinam, and then our determination and our enthusiasm will increase more and more. Then we can understand more about the unlimited pastimes of the Lord. Just as it's saying here, so much no necessity for unnecessary mental speculation. We just want to be blessed by the Lord for causeless devotional service. That means we have no interest for anything in return. Why am I in Krishna consciousness? Because there's opportunities. Sometimes many people come from a poor village, but if they come You get a nice ashram, you got security, you got prashadam daily, you got a camaraderie, you got a nice situation. But we shouldn't just take advantage of eating and sleeping. You know, we should get up and do some sankirtan, take on a responsibility. Krishna's given us responsibilities and we should do that. So this is a little pep talk. I hope that all of you are pepped up to and come visit Vrindavan. It's truly amazing how the festivals are growing and growing. Yes, yesterday, or was it yesterday, Prabhupada's disappearance day, we fed 15,000 devotees. We have a big Krishna hall, so we have thousands of devotees hearing the glorification of the pure devotee Srila Prabhupada. And we had a team of about 400 devotees from Delhi came to serve, and no waiting lines. And I could feel the atmosphere was so sublime, and the prasad was delicious. And you know, just trying to take care of everyone. And the flower decorations are tremendous. You can't believe Prabhupada's house, how beautifully it was decorated, and the deities every day are beautifully decorated. I don't know who does all these things, but they're amazing. You know, people, they have love and they have genuine desire to serve Krishna. And this is without expectation of reward or, you know, I'll do this if I get this, you know, because a servant stops serving the master when the paycheck stops. And that loving relationship, if you're not gratifying me or I'm not gratifying you, then there's separation, you know. So we need to learn that everything is done for Krishna. Krishna is in the center. Then the family life is happy because we're all looking to serve Krishna and love Krishna. And Krishna, he sees, he reciprocates. Yeyatamang prapajate tang sataiva vajamyaham. If we want to forget Krishna, he allows that. If we want to serve and be with the devotees in Krishna consciousness, he also gives us that power of understanding. So let us thank Srila Prabhupada for the gift of devotional service and a chance to perform bhakti unimaginable. And it's like immediately going on the express elevator to the top without taking the staircase of so-called yogas and mysticism and, you know, this religion, that religion, mental speculation, and different philosophies which are not taking us to the absolute truth. Prabhupada's given us the speed elevator to the top, to Goloka Vrindavan. And in this one lifetime, it can happen. Krishna, he's just waiting for us to turn and recognize that he is wanting us to come home. We've been away for some time now. So thank you very much. I don't want to keep talking too long. It's Vrindavan Dham, we got an early morning program. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Sahadev again.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, sir.
You're taking a good responsibility to help coordinate and broadcast the message. So I thank you for that.
Oh, Prabhuji, thank you so much. I'm thinking this way, but I believe all the devotees also think the same way with me, that we pray that we could also have some sort of committed service to Guru and Krishna, some way or other, some committed service to Guru and Krishna, because as busy as your schedule is, you still always find time to be with us. And we truly, truly appreciate that. And as I was listening to you, if I were not seeing you and just hearing you, I would have thought that you were reading. You speak like you read, because it keeps flowing, no pauses. I mean, like when I speak, I know myself, I pause a lot, but that is not the case with you. Thank you so much. Before anything else, Thakur Murari Prabhu is here. He is in Jamaica, and I saw on the news there is hurricane coming to Jamaica. Prabhuji, how are things going on in Jamaica? Are you in a safe zone? Well, we'll come back to him. So, dear devotees, if anyone have questions, comments, reflections, realizations.
Also, one more thing. One more thing.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Radhanath Maharaj had like 15,000 devotees in Govardhan, and every day they had huge programs. I don't know if you've seen any videos.
I saw bits and pieces of the clips here and there.
He's giving like a fun, and it's such enthusiasm and organization is starting to grow. I know, and maybe it's only a few devotees, and it's a struggle just to kind of get a festival together, but somehow or other it's picking up momentum. Just stay with it, everybody. Stay part of it. That's all.
Yeah. Yes. I saw a few clips here and there because some of there are quite a number of my god brothers, god sisters from the US that travel to India for the program. So they've been sending videos, short clips here and there. It's amazing, like you're saying. I think it's really nice to have access to some of these festivals, so we don't get so demoralized that our movement is not growing, because our movement is not growing in some parts of the world. But in other parts of the world, it is growing, and growing so beautifully. So
thank you.
Personally, I do not like to talk much about Srila Prabhupada's disappearance, which was this past Saturday, because it's too painful to watch, talk about it, and it's too painful. But through the pain, we also try to gather the desire to try to please and serve him because of his sacrifice, just to help me as a useless individual as I am, to have the opportunity to know about Krishna, talk about Krishna and his devotees. He took all these risks because of a crazy individual like me. But the way the whole thing unfolded, it's very, very painful to talk about. So I'm happy it fell on the weekend that we don't have Bhagavatam classes here, so we didn't have to talk too much about him. But I saw lots of the activities in Vrindavan, taking care of Srila Prabhupada's house, and a number of devotees performing all these selfless service to serve Srila Prabhupada and the devotees. It's just beautiful, just beautiful. Well, dear devotees, if anyone may have questions, comments, reflections you may want to ask, share, please indicate by using the hand emoji or your physical hand, and you will be asked to unmute to ask your question or share your reflections. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, my first question is from the text. Srila Prabhupada explained in the purport that these are great personalities from the higher planetary systems. Jana Lok, Tapa Lok, Satya Lok. So because of them being in higher dimensions with higher understanding, they speak in this way that don't try to understand Krishna because you cannot. Unlike those of us in this lower part of the universe, the Earth planet here, our minds are kind of wired in such a way that we always want to understand something because we give our commitment to it. So we, first of all, want to understand God before we surrender to God, before we serve God. And here, these great personalities are telling us that don't try to do that because you will not be able to. So my question then is, how do we, as beings, human beings on this earth planet, come to the point of surrendering to God without understanding him? How do we do that?
Yeah. But he said here, try to understand the limit of the unlimited. There's no limit to, it's almost like the frog in the well trying to contemplate the size of the Pacific or Atlantic Ocean. Is it 10 times the size of my well, 20 times the size? So it's just kind of giving you an example that don't tax your brain to think that you're going to be able to fully understand the Supreme Lord. Obviously, to hear about his beauty and to hear about how powerful and wonderful he is, but there's no possibility that one can really understand the limit of his unlimited nature. It's just, like I said, the higher beings, they themselves cannot understand Krishna in his unlimited capacity. So I think it's just trying to give an emphasis that don't tax your brain with unnecessary mental speculation, thinking that due to my own intelligence or prowess, or I find somebody who's, very intelligent, he'll tell me something more about the Supreme. But the Supreme can disclose only himself by his teaching, by what he's giving us in the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. I don't think it means not read and hear about the spiritual world and the beauty of it, but not to go to the point where you think that you need to speculate or go, ponder. How am I? What is the limit of God, or how can God do this or do that? It's just don't get too imaginative about it. Just take it as it is being delivered by the Lord Himself.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for the answer. It actually satisfies my question. Yeah. But there is one particular individual that I, from time to time, listen to him because he's a very smart guy. But he puts up this argument. The reason why he does not believe in God, he leans towards atheism. And his reasoning is that all what he's been hearing about those who worship God is that God is all good. God is all kind. God is all merciful. And God is almighty. And so if God has all these attributes to him, then how does the merciful God, how does all good God see to it that there is so much evil in this world? It means that God is either not all good, or he may be all good, but is not almighty. He is not powerful enough to stop these evil things happening. What would be the answer or a way to help somebody with this mentality to kind of understand that God is all good, God is all kind, God is all merciful, God is almighty, yet these things can happen and does not take away his divine qualities and potencies?
Well, that's how you see the material manifestation, this world, that there's opportunities to enjoy in heavenly delights with unlimited beauty, longevity, and whatever beautiful variety is there. But then there's also the hellish existence, just like in a government. People are living peacefully together, but those who are criminals, those who are committing violence, who are going against the natural laws and harming others, they have to be confined to a prison. And those who are also disobedient in the prison have to go to solitary confinement. And it's due to their own desires with the independence of the living entity, but separately, and utilize our misuse our anger, lust, greed, and envy to a point where we're restricted in the type of body we get, in the type of situation. Ultimately, no one can be cut, no one can be burned, no one can be killed. Everyone's eternal. So if I rip your shirt, then you say, "Oh, you're so bad," but you yourself are not harmed. So Krishna could manipulate everything so that all's good, and nobody's suffering, and everybody's in a very paradise situation, enjoying life with unlimited fruits and flowers and people that are loving them. But that facility is there if you're properly behaving and offer proper sacrifice, then one can be elevated to those situations. But it said if you worship ghosts and spirits, you take birth among such beings. And if you commit violence towards others, there's criminal, for a person who kills someone, he has to be hanged. And so these are the laws, and the laws are given by God. And one who's obedient, he's protected. And one who's not, then he has to suffer the consequences, so that they can understand that they have to become law-abiding citizens in order to be free people and out of the prison. So the people generally utilize those arguments in such a way as to justify their atheism and non-surrender to God, so they can still remain independent and blame God for not, if there is a God, he should take care of these things. But he does, but our teeny brains cannot comprehend and understand the intricacies of the laws of karma and how they are being enacted for each and every individual, who the next mother and father will be, what their condition of existence will be, and what kind of trauma or good fortune they'll experience due to their karma in the dive in the train. So it takes some study. You can't give a few words answer, but if one wants to study with a professor, he has to study with the books, view understanding of the intricacies of what he's studying. So try to understand God and his almightiness and mercifulness by your own mental speculation and evaluation is not possible, because we make mistakes, we're illusion, we have imperfect senses, and we have a cheating propensity. That's why we're in the material world. Anyway, there could be so many arguments. Not everyone will accept them, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, well, I've gotten some very, very important points from the answer to my question. So if I will have to say something to this particular individual, I'll have some tools to say something to this person without offending him, but at the same time, in a way, trying to help him think beyond or outside his own box. Shrimara Prabhu, yes, please give me on mute. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Professor Mambo Business Prabhuji. Okay, Prabhupada. Thank you very much. With your permission, Prabhu, I make a little contribution to this Sahadev's question. Actually, Prabhu have said everything, especially mentioned of karma and lack of understanding, make people think that some things are happening bad. So just one thing I would like to add is that this your friend, he heard that God is all merciful and all and maybe almighty, or maybe it's not almighty. But there's one thing that he did not have, that God is all knowing. God is all knowing. So that is what he does not know. Because unless you know everything, unless you know the past, the present, and the future of everybody, then you cannot say that this is good or this is bad. Because everyone is getting paid accordingly. And sometimes if you knew the past of some of the people that you think they are suffering, maybe you think that what they're getting is even not enough. So Prabhu had already said it, because we don't understand the law of karma. So that's something that happens bad. So please remind him also that God is all knowing, knows everything about past, present. And so everything happening according to his will.
Hare Krishna. Well, thank you. Thank you for
Krishna knows everything. Krishna knows everything.
yes. Yes. He knows everything. So he knows why certain things happen to certain people at certain times, certain places. Wow. Okay. Prabhuji, I have one last question though. One last question for today.
Yes.
And that is, it's very interesting you were talking about the pastimes of Chitraketu and his millions of wives, and the son who was poisoned by the other rebels, and Narada Muni brought him back to life. And Narada Muni was reminding him, hey, these are your parents. So he was asking, which parents? I've had so many in the past. I don't remember them anymore. Now, if that is the situation, then how does ancestral worship come into the picture? Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, there are those who worship ancestors, which is quite a common practice in Africa. My roots, I know people back home in Africa that do ancestral worship, and they get positive responses from the worship. So these ancestors are like great people in the family that have died many years ago, but they still can pray to these people, and these departed souls can help the people in the family because they still have connection with them. Now, based on what Chitraketu's son was saying, if he has no relationship with any of these past parents and does not have relationship with even this current parents, he changed the body, so he moves on, then how do we correlate what Chitraketu's son is saying and what Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, where many parts of the world people do this ancestral worship because they know that there is such a link? If you may help.
Right. Well, just like one is born in a certain family due to his good karma, and Yudhishthira Maharaj was asking whether the new emperor Parikshit Maharaj, is he going to follow in the tradition of the family and have all the qualities necessary for carrying out the responsibility of the kingdom. And when Prahlad Maharaj he didn't want anything, but he wanted his father to be saved. And Krishna told her, don't you worry, 14 generations, before, they're all liberated due to being in a family of one who becomes a devotee of the Lord, a pure devotee. So obviously there is some connection in the family, just like when Krishna appears in the Vrishni dynasty, becomes famous, and just by his appearance there, all those become blessed. So in that sense, there is a connection because of in your sojourn in the material world, but ultimately, when all's said and done, we're all separate living jiva souls, eternal servants of Krishna, and the temporary relationships that we do encounter in this world, you may identify with them, and when we hear the genealogy, this king, had this son, and he had these sons, and they had those sons, and it goes on and on and on, and there is a string of connection, and while we're embodied, and we still have our sense of responsibilities to the family. uh, at the ultimate end, I'm an individual soul. My son is an individual soul. His son is an individual soul. My grandfather, but we're connected. But at the same time, we're separate. I guess the Achintya Beta Beta Tattva philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu applies in the sense that we're all eternal spiritual beings, but while we're embodied and living within this world, the family tradition, we have some connection and some responsibility. So by becoming a devotee, you're ultimately blessing all your family members, and giving the best contribution to all of humanity and society. So it's intricate. It's definitely intricate, but we have to also see the family connection and that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Prabhuji. This is very satisfying because one of the impetus I have in trying to serve Krishna is that if I'm able to become successful, then I may be given the opportunity to have my mother liberated, wherever she may be. She left the planet some years ago.
Yeah,
I
my mother
wish
left in the summer
I
of
wish she were here
93.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I wish she
I
was.
got her face cream, right? It's this one British rose face cream, and I call Srimati Blaga the Great, So every day when I go put my tilak on it, I put a little cream on it and think, remember that actually due to her guidance and enthusiasm, it helped to formulate my youth in such a way, to be disciplined and, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that, but in such a way. So we have to show definitely appreciation and gratitude towards our ancestors, and thank them for giving us this material body so we can serve Krishna.
Yes, yes. Oh, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Sometimes you ask question, you get an answer that you're not expecting, but that is the truth. You accept it anyway because that is the truth. And sometimes you ask question and expecting a particular answer, and that happens to be the right answer. So when you receive it, it becomes like a double dose of joy. So I'm so happy that what I think I'm trying to do to serve my mother in some way is the right thing. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Dear devotees, if no one has something else to ask, it's quite late Prabhu's time in India, then we may bring this class to an end today. But Prabhuji, before you go, if you may want to have some sort of concluding remark to end the class today, you may do that. Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I was in traveling Sankirtan in Dallas, Texas in 76. And Satsvarup Maharaj said, given a chance to give class, don't let it pass. So take the responsibility, Class is just repeating the words of Guru. And Prabhupada said we can have thousands, millions of gurus. So we all have to really come out of our comfort zone and try to be that instrument of our spiritual master to assist our spiritual master in his mission of spreading Krishna consciousness Krishna is most happy with that individual who makes the endeavor to spread Krishna consciousness to others. And that'll keep you enlivened as well. Just like when Sahadev and team put me on a schedule, I get nervous and I think, oh, I got to read, I got to do something, and these are impetuses for you to also better yourself so that you don't make such a fool of yourself, that you can actually say something of value. So take the responsibility and give class. Go ahead and preach and help people understand the science of Krishna consciousness. Okay?
Thank you so much, dear uncle, great uncle to some of us. We are very grateful for your exemplary acts all the time. Dear devotees, we're going to humbly request you all to kindly unmute yourselves, and we all with one heart, one voice, one love, chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our deepest appreciation to our beloved uncle, His Grace Pancha Gauda Prabhu, for sharing his love and wisdom with us all today. Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpa tarabhyascha, kripa sindhu vyaivacha, Jana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to His Grace Pancha Gauda Prabhu Ki Jai. All glories to Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories assembled Vaishnava Vaishnavi devotees Ki Jai. Hare